Today, the headlines will read, two young quarterbacks fight for the NFC East lead. These are the New York Giants right now in the top spot in the NFC Eastern Division. They travel to the vet where they have struggled historically to take on the second place 6-1 Philadelphia Eagles. And hello, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Joe Buck along with my partner, Bill Maas. And Bill, while everybody's been talking about these two teams and really this division, who's going to step out in front in this mediocre division and win this thing, the talk specifically about these two teams has been the quarterbacks. And for New York, Danny Cannell, who has struggled, Jim Fossil, the head coach, put out the call. If he struggles today, look for the hook.
Well, Jim Fossil did a smart thing. He stirred the water to get a reaction, and the reaction he wants is his quarterback to play better. He figures if he can handle that pressure, then he can handle the pressure of going down the stretch and taking this team to the playoffs.
So while you talk about Danny Cannell and a possible switch to Dave Brown today, a decision that Jim Fossil will have to face depending on how this first half unfolds, really no questions about the quarterback situation in Philadelphia. Bobby Hoying, he's become the man in his 3 weeks as starter with the Eagles.
Well, Bobby Hoying is a smart player. He plays a position with poise. He thinks about what he's got to do, and he makes the right decisions. Now, this week, though, he's going to face a tough challenge up front. Defensive line of the Giants can get after him, and then outside the cornerbacks play great man-to-man coverage. It's going to be bump and run on the receivers.
Who will win today? Who eventually will win this NFC Eastern Division? Honey, did you pack the big coats? It's a cold day at the vet. Getting ready for football, Fox style. Stay tuned. The opening kickoff coming up after this from your local Fox station.
And now, the Erickson Countdown continues.
I think they're ready for football here in Philadelphia. They are jacked up at the vet, 41 degrees, but the wind is blowing through this ballpark. Jim Fossil and the New York Giants in town. They've struggled here historically in this stadium. Losers 7 of their last 9 here in Philadelphia. They are in the top spot in the NFC East. Ray Rhodes and the Eagles hope to get up even with them with a win here today. Chris Bonial ready to kick it away for the Philadelphia Eagles. Glad you're with us. Here we go. Eric Pegram from around the 8. Heavy hitting, and Pegram could not find the 20-yard line. A return of only 11. Matt Stevens had friends, but they were there to make the initial stop for the Philadelphia Eagles. Danny Cannell and the New York Giants head to work, and we look at their offensive line. Lance Scott playing well at center. Howard Cross is the tight end. David Patton at a wide receiver position, making his first NFL start. And we get the early look at Danny Cannell. They open with a completion to Chris Callaway up near the 30. Good for a first down, a gain of 11. And Cannell starts 1 for 1, and we check on the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Up front, Mamula, Hall, Hollis Thomas, and Greg Jefferson. There are the linebackers, and they really like the rookie James Darling. And the secondary, Dimry, has been suspect at the corner position. A toss to Wheatley. He got back to the line of scrimmage, lost the football, and a scramble for it. And no indication yet. Giants retain possession.
Interesting, Jim Fossil opened up with a pass play. Right off the bat, they want to find out what Cannell can do and where he's going to take him. As you can take a look on that fumble, you can see that Wheatley's knee was on the ground when that popped out.
Howard Cross was there to fall on top of it anyway, and Cannell and the Giants come to the line of scrimmage facing a second down and 7. This is the fullback Charles Way. He gets to the 35 and then is thrown backward. William Thomas in the middle of it for the Eagles.
And for the Eagles defense, Joe, today what they want to do is take away Charles Way. Take him away and force Cannell to beat you. They don't think they can. Watch them just fill this up the middle. You have 8 men up. Here comes Zordich in the middle. And there's Thomas. Willie T, number 51, stuffs that whole thing up.
Way got 2. That brings up 3rd down and 5. From the shotgun, Cannell brought down and sacked.
That's what they wanted to do. Force passing situations. Put them in passing situations because they like the matchups outside. They think they can take their receivers away with their corners and force Cannell to beat you. And then you get the rush going up front, and there's your result.
And the result is Richard Dent now has 3.5 sacks, number 3 on the all-time sack list, behind Reggie White, Bruce Smith, and an early punt for Brad Maynard with Mel Gray, just recently picked up waiting deep for the Eagles. Good snap, but punting into the wind, shy of midfield and down by the Giants around their own 47.
Well, that's going to be nice field position for the Eagles.
A punt of only 18 yards into the wind. Richard Dent, a big play early. He has a sack, no score, and the Eagles get the ball. The city of brotherly love, they have fallen in love quickly with Bobby Hoying. Just his 4th NFL start as he takes on the Giants here this afternoon. The Eagles start at the New York 45, and a quick pass out to Ricky Watters through his arms, incomplete. And a 2nd and 10 coming up. Why don't we meet the offense for the Philadelphia Eagles, led by Bobby Hoying, the 2nd best quarterback rating in the NFL, second only to Steve Young. Anchoring the offensive line is Everett in the middle. They've switched Barrett Brooks to the right tackle position. Michael Timpson makes a start at the wide receiver position, and Jimmy Johnson has been involved more and more in John Gruden's offense at the tight end spot. 2nd down from the 45. And picked off by Armstead. Jesse Armstead with the return. Down the sideline. Goodbye, no flags, touchdown.
Hoying never saw him. Hoying never saw where Jesse Armstead was in the zone defense.
Just the 2nd interception thrown by Hoying in 127 attempts since taking over for the Philadelphia Eagles. But this one in a battle with the Giants, his 2nd throw of the day, right into the arms of Jesse Armstead, who gets his 1st pick of the year and his 1st touchdown of the year. Giants lead by 6 with the extra point coming from Brad Del Wiso. Good snap, good hold, good kick, and just like that, 7-0 Giants in the opening minutes of this one, Giants and Eagles.
Watch Jesse Armstead, 98. Hoying never sees him. They flood 3 receivers to this side, and he just sits down right here. And he gets his hand up on the ball. He thought he had the out to Timpson and never saw Armstead come across the field from the middle of the field. Now, Hoying has been lucky. He's had 4 almost interceptions since he started. They've been dropped. There was a fumble, a reception and a fumble, and this one doesn't get away from him.
And then you talk about Jesse Armstead. Here's a guy most people feel that play the Giants. Here's a guy that's got to go to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, you talk to anybody around the league that's seen him play, he's having a sensational year. And he's a guy that everybody you talk to him says he gets it. He understands. Plays with exceptional instincts. He's all over the field. He understands what the offense is going to do. And you can see right there in his pass coverage, along with his run-stopping skills, he knows where to go.
Pro Bowl balloting has to be in by this Tuesday. And you look at the year for Jesse Armstead and what he is doing with this game and 2 more left in 1997, just getting better. An 8th round pick when he came out of college, and the Giants found a good one in Armstead, and he went 57 yards for the 1st touchdown of the day. The Giants lead by 7. Del Wiso kicks it into the wind, and it's taken by Turner just inside the 30, and the Eagles will start with it near their own 45. So kicking into the wind, which will be a major factor in today's game. Del Wiso kicked it low right into the arms of Turner.
And we were down there, and it is windy. The wind was blowing hard right into the Del Wiso's kick. And now Hoying has to come back out, and he has to put that behind him. There's a lot of excitement in this game when you're playing for the division lead. When you're playing for the stretch and this late in the season, there's a lot that goes with that. Now he comes out, he made a mistake early. Now let's see how he handles it. We said he has poise. Let's see where it goes from here.
From their own 45 on 1st down, they keep it on the ground now with Waters, and he got back to the line of scrimmage. Met first by Bernard Holsey.
And this Giants defense, Joe, is what has been carrying them all year long. John Fox, the defensive coordinator, he's done an outstanding job of putting these guys in positions to make plays. Now, Halsey is right here. He's playing for Bratsky, who was there. He's really not an end, and he's limited in what he can do. But when you can hustle like that and slide down the line of scrimmage, you're going to make plays.
Second down and 10, back to the air for Hoying. And complete to the far sideline, or near the far sideline, to Timpson. But good for only 4, and now 3rd and 6 for the Philadelphia Eagles. How about meeting the rest of that New York defense? Up front, we've already told you about Halsey, joined by Hamilton, Harris, and Strahan, who's having a tremendous year. The linebackers, we told you a lot about Armstead, joined by Widmer and Miller. And the secondary, a very talented, very good young group, anchored by the corners, Sehorn and Sparks.
And they want revenge. Last week, they got beat up by Tampa Bay. Warwick Dunn had rushed for 120 on them. They got something to prove.
3rd down and 6 for the Eagles. Big rush, penalty flag, and a hold, and Hoying is brought down back near the original line of scrimmage. A flag on the play, but it's on a hold.
Yeah, I believe that. It's going to be on Barrett Brooks. He drug Michael Strahan down to the ground.
Holding, number 76 of the offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
So the decline penalty, the hold on Barrett Brooks, and a slow start for Ray Rhodes and his group offensively. First possession, 2 passes, an interception, resulting in a touchdown, now 3 and out. And it's Hutton to punt with the win. Low line drive punt. Toomer takes it on a hop back near the 12. Great coverage downfield, and Toomer is rocked at the 15-yard line. A return of only 3, and it's Stevens again downfield along with Farmer for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles have picked it up with special teams as the year has gone on. Cannell and the Giants have the ball again.
Here's Danny Cannell's numbers. Here's the last 3 weeks. This is the last 2 weeks right here. Touchdowns. They only have 1 touchdown in the last 9 quarters. And that's why Jim Fossil put the pressure on him for this game. He wants more production.
They start with a throw and dumped off to the tight end, Howard Cross. Fighting his way toward a first down. He's just short by about half a yard. Gain of 9.5. 2nd and short coming up.
And we said earlier, you know, Cannell, just go play. I want you to watch him here. Watch what he does. Look at him. Look at his receivers. He's looking this way. Now watch. He waits and waits, and then he comes back over here. That's patience. That's knowing. Now, one of the questions was, did he study enough last week? And I think that's tough. But you can see, and we talked to him, he put some time in this week.
Quick snap count. The hand is to Wheatley, and he's got a first down across the Giants' 30. And a snappy start to this drive for the Giants. Their 2nd possession of the day. Wheatley just got 6.
And really the strength of this offense, Joe, is in their offensive line. John Matsko, the offensive line coach, has done an excellent job making these guys better. They're hats, they get them on the right people, they're sound, they don't make many mistakes, and they can maul you. They maul you. They're big guys. He's done an outstanding job. Last year, they weren't real good.
On first down, Cannell's going to put it up, dump it off on a screen, and complete to Wheatley. Red Hall was there to sniff it out for the Eagles defensively.
Well, they try to set up the screen there. Cannell takes the defensive end upfield. Mike Mamula gets the rush off a spin move. Here's Mamula here. He spins inside, gets the rush. Now, Cannell does the right thing by backing up and sucking the defensive line upfield, but then he makes a poor throw. It's in the ground because it was set up outside. See the spin move? Takes Roman Oben upfield, then rolls back inside.
Now 2nd down and 10, and they hand to Tiki Barber. Looking to get to the corner, and he's ridden out of bounds by Dimry at the 30. Might have lost half a yard. Right now for McDonald's game break. Let's go back to JB at our Fox Television Center.
Joe and Bill, let's take a look at how Tampa Bay got on the scoreboard. Brett Favre finds Mark Chimera, who's fumbling the ball before he's hit. Hardy Nickerson recovers. Michael Husted chip shot of a 24-yarder. Tampa Bay 3-0. Remember, they're in the playoffs, the Bucs, with the victory. Back to Joe and Bill.
All right, JB, and a record of 9-4 for the Buccaneers, a game behind Green Bay.
3rd down. This is where the Giants struggle.
Heavy pressure in the throw. It is caught Out beyond the 45 by Amani Toomer, and he helps with a signal of first down.
Boy, and this is the time of year they need to get him involved. He only has about 12 catches on the year. For whatever reason, he hasn't been productive for him, but this is the time of year they need for him to step up. And anytime the Giants get in 3rd and long, that's not where they want to be. They don't have the firepower to do that.
A throw on first down. Cannell hangs in and throws it to the middle of the field, incomplete. Big pressure by Greg Jefferson. He dumped Cannell after Danny got rid of it.
You know, there's challenges being issued everywhere. Ray Rhodes really challenged Greg Jefferson this week, too. They wanted more production out of him as well. He didn't feel he played good last week in their game, and they need some pass rush off of him. He gets a nice pass rusher here off of Scott Craig, turns the corner, and keeps his feet moving. And that kind of pressure, it enabled Danny Cannell not to see what was downfield. He had to get rid of the ball.
Now 2nd down and 10. And they hand away, who gets nothing. Jefferson there again, along with William Thomas and Hollis Thomas for the Eagles.
You know, one of the things we talk about is we have to talk about taking away the run, getting guys up front. Here's Zorich over here. That makes an 8-man front up here. See all the guys up front? That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do to the Giants. Stuff that line of scrimmage. You're going to see a lot of 8-man front today out of the Philadelphia Eagles. Zorich is going to be up there around the line of scrimmage trying to blow up this running game. Take away Charles Way.
3rd down and 10, another 3rd and long situation for New York. Blitz coming. Cannell loses it. Picked up back the other way. Dimry, if he can find it, he finally gets to it, and he's downed at the New York 3.
Danny Cannell just never had a hold of the ball.
A flag came down near the sideline, and we'll wait for the call.
Illegal motion on the offense. Penalty is declined.
Sure.
First down.
And a 1st and goal for the Eagles. The ball resting in the Giants 3 after this 40-yard return.
Watch Cannell. This ball just dropped out of his hand.
We saw a lot of that on Monday night. If you watch the game with Brad Johnson and the Minnesota Vikings, just could not hang on to the ball on a cold day in Philly.
Yeah, I can't understand that. I mean, that's your quarterback. You have the ball all the time in your hand. And then throws it and just falls straight down.
Inexplicably, though, dropped by Dimry going back the other way. It was a sure touchdown.
Well, he's not supposed to hold the ball. That's why he's on defense.
So it's a 1st and goal for the Eagles from the Giants 3. Keep it on the ground with Waters toward the end zone and to the goal line, where it'll be 2nd and goal.
Actually, this is where the Eagles get found down. When they're close in here, it's not really good for their offense because they can't spread it out and do the things that marches them down the field. That's why the Philadelphia Eagles have a lot of first downs, a lot of yards. They're #1 in passing yards, but down here in scoring, they have a tough time putting it into the end zone.
2nd and goal. Waters, touchdown. Number 6 on the season for Ricky Waters.
Both these touchdowns, Joe, so far this early has been nothing to do with what the offense has done.
Points off turnovers. An interception returned by Armstead for a Giants touchdown. The drop by Cannell leading to the touchdown, an extra point for the Eagles. And we're back to where we started with 6:51 remaining in the 1st quarter. Each side, 1 turnover. Each side, 1 touchdown. 7-7 game of the 1st quarter.
Down here on the goal line, watch Kevin Turner, the fullback, lead up here on Doug Coleman. This is a big block that springs it. Takes him out, and it's Waters over the top.
Waters been doing that since he left Notre Dame, up over the top, whether it's been for the 49ers or the Eagles And it's a 7-7 game. Bonio kicks it away. And it's Pegram from near the 6. Again, good coverage downfield for the Eagles, as Pegram was met at the 21 by Matt Stevens again. This is the first half of a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. It continues when most of you will see a crucial NFC East matchup as the Redskins look to rebound against the Arizona Cardinals, and the Vikings against the 49ers in a key game for both teams. The race for the playoffs continues on Fox. It's all coming up next. Check your local listings. On first down, a toss, a fake reverse, and Wheatley breaks a couple of tackles, lowers his shoulder, and gets to the 29.
Tyrone Wheatley's done a nice job for the Giants. He started out the season and weren't sure where he was going to fit in with the Giants this year, and then Charles Way was in there, and of course Rodney Hampton, and you go out and you draft a Tiki Barber, and you know, a lot of people were wondering, where's Tyrone Wheatley going to fit into this thing? But he's emerged as a runner for him due to injuries, but he's performed admirably.
Play action pass for Cannell. Chase gets rid of it. Incomplete. And it was Mamula up the back of Cannell to force a third down for the Giants.
Mike Mamula getting some pressure here early in the game, playing big so far. And Cannell did a smart thing there by knowing where he was and knowing he could get rid of it. Here's Mamula. Right around open.
With the incompletion, now 3rd and 3.
That was smart by Cannell, too.
Of 8. Michael Zordich there to make the stop for the Eagles.
And one thing Jim Fossil tried to bar and block and bar.
Again, the quick snap count. Again, it's Wheatley. He lost the football. It's a live ball and recovered by Scott Gregg, and the Giants back near the original line of scrimmage.
Everybody's having trouble holding on to that thing today.
Troy Vincent laid the hit that led to the fumble. Tyrone Wheatley off to a good start, but could put no pressure or weight on his left ankle as he was helped off the field after that injury. Rodney Hampton in street clothes, not active. And the Giants on 3rd and 2. Throw behind Way and incomplete. Now a penalty flag comes in.
Illegal use of the hand.
The Eagles indicating it's against the Giants, and it is.
Yeah. I think they're going to get Charles Way for pushing off.
Pass interference on the offense, 10 yards, repeat 4th down.
Well, they accept the penalty. It would have been 4th down. Now it'll bring it to a 3rd and 12, but it gives the Giants another crack at it.
Well, they didn't want to take that for the field position. There's Wheatley right here. Watch Mamula fall on his ankle right here. That's where he comes down and twists that up. That looked pretty nasty.
So now instead of 4th and 2,
there he goes.
They take the penalty, making it 3rd and 12. And working into the wind, Danny Cannell from the shotgun. Here they come. Eagles blitzing. Quick throw, complete, but again short of a 1st down. By a couple of yards, it's Alexander. And he is short by 3. 4th and 3 coming up.
That was Willie Thomas on the blitz right up the middle. And then Alexander's right here. He's on the slot. Brian Dawkins is on him. He's all over him. Good coverage. That was a heck of a throw, though, in the face of pressure.
3 yards short of a 1st down, and Maynard will punt it away for the Giants with Mel Gray just picked up. And one of the best ever waiting deep for the Eagles. Good snap. toward the sideline, and really an ugly punt into the wind.
Well, that wind's playing a factor here. If you notice the kickoffs down here, the punt into the wind, they're struggling with that wind.
There's Wheatley heading off on the cart. And there's no doubt about the wind during the pregame warm-ups. Brad Delwiso for the Giants hit a 68-yard field goal with the wind. With the wind going from our right to our left. And the Eagles will get it at their own 20.
With Wheatley out, that's going to make a predicament here for the Giants. You know, Tiki Barber's been bothered by a hamstring and a thigh bruise. Eric Cragen was just picked up.
Hoying and the Eagles back to work on first down. High throw, but caught by Fryer at the 25. Armstead and Whitmer were there defending for the Giants.
I think if you're going to ISO on a receiver and you're the Giants, that's the guy you ISO on. He's the guy they're trying to get the ball to. See, they try to run that little pick on Armstead right there, and then Hoying threw the ball high. But Irving Fryer, it doesn't matter. Irving Fryer's going to go up and get the ball. He knew he was going to take a lick when it was thrown up there high, and he came down with it.
A toss on second down back to Garner. First carry of the day, and he falls forward. Got 6 and got an Eagle first down.
I like Gardner. I like the way he runs. He's a nice change up in here. Watch the fullback right here come in. And see that cut block right there? That springs the whole thing open. He came down and took out Holsey, the defensive end, and that opened up the outside. That bunches up your pursuit from the inside out.
Garner now watching from the sideline as Waters is back in the lineup for the Eagles on first down. This is the fullback Turner on a toss. Tiptoeing and crossing the 35. Brought down at the 37. He got 6.
And one of the things John Fox wanted to know, he wanted to know what kind of mindset are the Eagles and John Gruden going to be in. He saw him come out against the Washington Redskins. He saw him come out and try to hammer the ball. Of course, everybody tries to hammer the ball on the Redskins. But then he's seen him come out and just throw the ball all over the place, too. I think what he's seeing is a pretty good mix right now, and this isn't all on the shoulders of Hoying.
Second down and 4 with under a minute left in this first quarter. Waters bouncing outside, a first down and more.
Kevin Turner. Again, Kevin Turner's having a heck of a year. He's the one that sprung that block. Now, his numbers aren't great. His numbers are down from passing over the years, but overall, his play this year has been the best it's been since he's been an Eagle. Watch him turn his thing. See, he gets Holsey again. That's the defensive end. He comes around there looking for somebody, and he ties up that whole pursuit from the inside out. That springs the outside open.
Ricky Waters got 11 yards, and now a first down up near midfield for the Eagles. Wide open and caught by Timpson. Tapped at the 34. And that will likely be the last play of this first quarter. A 17-yard completion to Michael Timpson. Just reinserted in the starting lineup for Ray Rhodes. A couple of early turnovers. A couple of early touchdowns. It's 7-7 after 1 quarter of play with this battle in the NFC East. We welcome you back to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Early, a couple of turnovers. Bobby Hoying was intercepted by Jesse Armstead. By the way, the 20th interception by the Giants defense this season. That was followed up by Cannell's drop, which led to the fumble, which led to the first and goal from the 3 and the Waters touchdown to tie this game at 7. Start of the second quarter, Bill, and the Eagles moving the ball down the field.
Well, what you have is mistakes by 2 young quarterbacks that you expect have resulted in touchdowns.
Well played by Hamilton, who wallops Waters in the backfield, a loss of 1.
Hamilton is having a good year. For a few years there, he really kind of disappeared. He had a big year in '93. He had 11.5 sacks, then kind of just disappeared. Watch him here in the middle. He just shoots to the gap, comes right off the guard's hip, and makes that play in the backfield.
Second down and 11. Simpson able to get past the linebacker, Scott Gallion, and he He's just inside the 30, where it will be third down.
You know, Joe, Timpson has really emerged here in this Philadelphia offense. He was in New England, and Irving Fryer was up there with him. And Irving had a lot to do with getting him down here. And I think they had to trust Irving Fryer to make that decision, because what Timpson did in Chicago wasn't enough for anybody to really give him a look. But Irving Fryer convinced his coaching staff, hey, get him down here, and he's performed well.
Third down and 5, Hoying. He can run, not this time. Brought down behind the 30, and it's Holsey. Hamilton was there also for the Giants, and fourth down coming up for the Eagles, who might just want to go for it. You're in this area of the field where it would be asking a lot of Boniol to kick a field goal into the wind.
Sure. And that looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Waters comes out. He's in the backfield now.
And now a timeout is called for by the Eagles. It would be roughly a 48-yard try by Boniol. Into the wind is just too much. It looks like the Eagles will go for it. 7-7 game, second quarter. Really not a tough decision, Bill, with Boniol's season-long 49 yards into the wind. It would be roughly a 48-yard try. So on 4th and 6, the Eagles will go for it.
Well, yeah, why not? And I think what it's actually saying is they don't believe that the Giants offense can go 70 yards on them if they don't get it.
Garner lines up split wide to the right on 4th down, and Hoying will put it up. Over the middle, and caught a diving grab by Fryer, first down.
He had him the whole time. He
Penalty had a flag in the backfield as Hamilton gets in the face of Hoying.
Holding.
And this is coming back.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 71 of the offense. 10 yards. Repeat, fourth down.
Jermaine Mayberry.
So that nullifies the completion, which would have been the 5th straight by Hoying, and it nullifies a first down.
He gets in Hamilton's face right there. Boy, what a shame, too, because Irving Fryer ran an exceptional route on Sparks. Right off the line of scrimmage. Beats him right there. And that's what he's good at. He's a physical receiver.
Now Hutton and the Eagles punt. Again into the wind, and the fair catch called for and made. A penalty flag on the play as Toomer comes down with it near the 14.
That's going to be holding on the Eagles. That's going to back them up again. And you take this because you are backed up down there.
Number 45 of the offense. 10 yards. Repeat, fourth down.
That's Stevens. Matt Stevens, who's been doing so well covering the punts and the kicks. Here he is right here on the wing. He just pulls his guy down. And you know what? That's kind of questionable because you see that a lot. You see him just grab and pull inside as they get their release.
So Hutton again will try another punt. Last one was only 18 yards. Toomer waits back near the Giant 10.
Lost 20 yards here.
Good snap and a brutal punt. Takes a bounce near the 30, and again a penalty flag comes in on the play.
Well, Joe Wessel, the special teams coach, is not happy at all.
And this is against the Giants, a hold on the return.
Holding. Number 44 of the receiving team. During the kick. 10 yards. It'll be first down, New York.
So that'll cost the Giants and march them back near their own goal line.
Which ends up being a pretty good punt for Hutton. For a bad punt, turns out pretty good. Take a look, we can see it in here. It's right there, right there. Yeah, there's a battle that's going on down there.
And with the 10-yard penalty, it's now a 1st and 10 for the Giants from their own 13. These two teams trading turnovers and penalty flags here in the first half. Tiki Barber on the toss, looking for somewhere to run, and picks his way across the 15. He got 3. William Thomas defending for the Eagles.
Hey, you know, that was pretty good patience on the part of Barber. He strings that thing out. Mamula was outside, taking it to the sidelines like he's supposed to. Watch, Mamula's right there. He strings it out. But watch Barber. Watch his patience back here. A lot of young backs, you just see him come up and hit the hole. He's waiting, 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 and then he picks his spot. He makes something out of nothing.
William Thomas was there to pick him up and set him down gently on the turf. He got 3, 2nd and 7. Plenty of time for Cannell. The pass complete, short of a first down. It's Patton, brought down at the 21 by Willie Clark.
Watch this route here. David Patton just stands at the line of scrimmage. Watch, the ball snapped, he just stands there. He never comes off the line of scrimmage. He lulls them to sleep, and then he takes off back inside on the slant. He gets a little separation there on Willie Clark.
It's an old Arena League trick.
And that's where he's from. That works in the Arena League. It works here.
3rd down and 2. Inside handoff to Tiki Barber. Broke a couple of tackles. And we'll see where they spot it, looks like, and it is enough for a New York first down. He got 3.
You know, and again, Joe, that was all Tiki Barber. That thing closed down before it ever opened up. And Barber was just patient. He just sat there and waited and found a spot and was able to pick up the first down. That's good patience from a young running back.
Jim Fossil was talking to us yesterday about a play similar to that last year when he was working the offense for the Arizona Cardinals. 3rd down, inside handoff. It was good enough thanks to the efforts by Barber for the first down, and now play action. Airing it out, Cannell, and underthrowing David Patton. Let's go for a McDonald's game break. Let's go back to James Brown in our Fox Television Center.
Joe and Bill, Pack trying to wrap up the NFC Central in a first-round bye with a step in the right direction by back-to-back league MVP Brett Favre. 43 yards to Robert Brooks, on top right now by the score of 7-3. Back to Joe Buck and Bill Maas.
Thank you, James Brown. So a good game down in Tampa. 7-7 game. Just under 11 minutes to play in the first half here in Philadelphia. Tiki Barber survives a big hit, but got only 3. And a 3rd and 7 coming up for New York.
You know, I really like Jim Fossil as a coach. And the reason I like him is because he is a coach. He's a coach in every sense of the word. You know, a lot of coaches have a scheme, and they're going to make players conform to their scheme. Jim Fossil adapts to everything he has, every place he's been. He finds a way to get the most out of his players, no matter what he's given.
You're talking about a guy who's been a lot of places in his coaching career. 3rd and 7. And movement by the right tackle, Scott Gregg.
Scott Gregg. If this is offsides on Gregg.
Number 74, 5 yards. It's still 3rd down.
He leads the league in offsides. That's his 10th. He's holding hands here because of the crowd noise. And you're supposed to move when he moves. But watch, he moves anyway. He just, wait, you're supposed to wait for your guard to move. That's the whole part, the whole reason you hold hands out there.
Ron Stone might have tickled him a little bit. It's cold. His hand might have been jumping around. His nickname's Lurch. We made fun of that the last time. He's been doing a lot of lurching.
You make fun of that. I'm not. He's 6'7", 320.
3rd down and 12 for the Giants. Cannell steps up, guns it in the direction of Patton, and nearly picked off by Dimry, right through his arms.
And Cannell wishes he had that one again, because he had Patton wide open. Watch Patton on Dimry. Now, if you're going to attack the Eagles, this is where you're going to go. You're going to go at Dimry. He takes him upfield and slams on the brakes on the dig route, and the ball's just overthrown.
So time to punt. 3rd effort for Brad Maynard, and here's Mel Gray again. 9 career returns for touchdowns. And the career of Mel Gray nearly blocked. Matt Stevens almost came up with a block, and Mel Gray will let it bounce and trickle down inside the 30. And there's a little mini brawl going on back near midfield. So the Eagles get it back after a 49-yard punt. And here comes Philadelphia. Just over 10 minutes to play. First half. They look cold to me. 7-7 game.
you know, over the last 3 weeks, we haven't really faced a team that will come up and challenge you outside, and they definitely do that. They play a lot of bump and run coverage, and you know, be a big challenge for our wide receivers to get off the bump coverage, and we'll have to make some plays, and they'll make it tough on us.
You know what else makes it tough on them is they disguise bump coverage, which looks like man coverage. They're up so much now, that makes it tough on Bobby Hoying to know what the coverage is.
First down for the Eagles, 7-7 game. Out of the backfield, Ricky Waters, and met and dropped by Conrad Hamilton.
Well, he stepped up nice. That's the way you close on that. That's what you do on those little flare patterns out there. You know, flare control, defense is always concerned about who's going to pick up that flat on flare control. That's how you teach your guys to play it. Yeah, let them throw it out there. That's fine. But you close on the ball when it's thrown, and you tackle like that, and they get nothing.
Second down and 10. Waters, left side, down the sideline for a handful. Knocked out of bounds at the 34. He got 6. 3rd and 4 coming up. Yarns was there to make the stop for the Giants.
You know, Ricky Waters, actually, he's been quiet. Usually this late in the season, if the season is good, you'd hear from Ricky Waters. The Giants hear from him. The Giants hear from him every time they've played him, no matter where he's been. Averaging over 103 yards a carry. I mean, a game against them. That's a big number.
Needs 35 more yards today to reach 1,000 yards for the season. Trying to do it 3 consecutive years as Hoying steps up and he's sacked. Michael Strahan. That's number 14 for another hopeful Pro Bowler.
Yeah, that's another guy that's having a Pro Bowl-like season. I want you to watch this rush right here. Here's Strahan, and this is Barrett Brooks.
They've thrown a flag on this play, and it's against the Giants.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 41 of the defense. 5 yards. Automatic first down.
Conrad Hamilton. That ruins that sack, and so that takes his sack away. And as a defensive lineman, you can't stand that. I mean, you all that battle, all that effort to get to the quarterback and bring him down, and then there's a penalty downfield by your teammate that wipes that sack out. He's back to 13, Joe.
4th penalty for the afternoon for the Giants, and now on first down, a toss to Turner. To the 40, not much, got a yard. Keith Hamilton slid down the line to make the stop on Turner, so 2nd and 9. Approaching 8 minutes left in this first half. First place Giants against the 2nd place Eagles. 7-7 game. Fake toss, and now Hoying dumps it off to Waters. Gets around Widmer momentarily and lunges forward for a couple. The 3rd and 7 coming up. Corey Widmer there to make the stop eventually.
Hey, there's a pretty nice job by Bobby Hoying. Bobby Hoying's first read was to get the ball outside to Timpson. Timpson is over here, and he falls down. See if we can see him. See him fall right there? And he's looking for him, and he peels back. He comes all the way back because he knows where his outlet pass is. His outlet is to the back. So he wastes no time. He sees it's not there. He looks over, gets the ball out to Ricky Waters.
3 wide receivers in the lineup for the Eagles on 3rd and 7. Everybody's coming for the Giants. Ball is loose on the sack. And it is recovered by Philadelphia, but time to punt.
Boy, he had Irving Fryer, too. Irving Fryer was open again.
Now the official has just changed his mind.
Saying it's Giants' ball.
Saying it's the Giants' ball.
The referee pointed the wrong direction. First down, New York.
That means I pointed the wrong direction.
And we all make mistakes. Here's the blitz off the corner. Scott Gallion hits his head. His helmet is right on the ball. Bobby Hoying's hands were down around his waist, and he's down on the field. Here's Gallion off the corner.
The ball popped loose. I believe Hamilton came up with it for the Giants, and that's the case. It's his 3rd fumble recovery of the season. And it gives the Giants a first down inside the Philadelphia 35.
You know, we talked to John Fox, and that's what this defense wants to do. Take the ball away. And they've been good at it all year. They've really been the focal point for the whole entire team. This defense has gotten the ball back to the offense.
And this Giant defense is working on an offensive line that struggled, especially lately. Hoying has now been sacked 20 times in 5 games.
That makes learning the quarterback position tough with a young quarterback. Off the corner here comes Gallion and Tito Paul. Here's Gallion and here's Tito Paul. You see a lot of this when you see the blitzes. They're bringing 2 to one side to try to beat the protection, and no back is there to help out. And then Gallion puts his helmet right in the midsection, right where the ball was on Hoying.
It was Hamilton who came away with it, and it is Hoying who's able to walk off the field under his own power here in the second quarter. Saw Pete warming up earlier. It's Rodney Pete is the second string quarterback today, and it's Ty Detmer as the emergency quarterback. There's Pete getting ready, but right now it's the Giants ball, resting at the Philadelphia 33. Tiki Barber inside the 30 where he's thrown backward. He got about 5. Second down and 6. A gain of 4. Greg Jefferson made the stop.
Gain of 4 yards, running the ball into an 8-man front. Look, there's Zordich. There's 3. There's 8 guys up here. Actually 9. That's 9 guys up. And watch the Giants offensive line. You get 4 yards running into 9 men up, and you can win in this league anywhere.
Second down and 6. The toss to Barber. He's got a first down and inside the Philadelphia 15. He got 15 and was tripped up by Zordich.
And he's answering the bell. You know, we had another injury there at the running back position, and he steps up and he's answering the bell. I mean, you talk about these young guys that came in for the Giants and then they lost. They lost Ike Hilliard. Watch right here. Watch Hollis Thomas. He's down the ground, and then there's the seam right there. As a defensive lineman, you can't play the game on the ground. Now, Hollis tries to get back up and get another play, but it was too late.
Barber has 29 yards, looking for more. He got a couple. William Thomas came off the corner to make the stop for the Eagles.
And that's what they have to do, Joe. The Eagles defense has to be active. They have to move around. They have to fly around. They have to blitz, because if they stand still, they're dead. And Emmett Thomas, the defense coordinator, he knows that. And you can see the numbers rushing over the last 4 weeks. It's sliding on them. And this is a bad time of year to allow teams to run the ball on you.
Play action for Cannell. Over the middle, Barber dropped it, incomplete. He was stung by James Darling. Incomplete pass.
But James Darling will sting you. James Darling's a physical receiver. I mean, a physical linebacker. He plays the point of attack well. He's an inside linebacker that is playing outside. And he's a pretty good athlete, too. Here he's back in the zone coverage, and watch him close on that.
Ruled that Barber did not have possession when he dropped it. Darling checks out. Richard Dent, Jimmy Jones into the lineup for the Eagles, and now a timeout called for by the Giants. Timeout. New York trying to take the lead. 5:20 left in the first half. And how about tonight on Fox on an all-new X-Files? A mysterious phone call and a bizarre murder all lead to one startling question. As Agent Scully's sister returned from the dead, an all-new X-Files tonight, 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Fox. A 4 wide receiver set for the Giants. 3rd down and 7. Big rush. Tiki Barber, touchdown Giants.
Nice job of Danny Cannell seeking out the matchup. Barber on Willie Thomas. The speedy back Barber won that one.
11 yards from Cannell to Tiki Barber. That ball just floated toward the end zone. Finally got to Barber for Tiki. It's his first touchdown reception of the year. 4th overall, and for Cannell, that's number 7 thrown.
He stepped up playing nice.
And now Delwiso. To tack on the extra point. Low snap, good hold, good kick. And it's a 14-7 Giant lead with 5:15 remaining in the first half. Floating it out to Tiki Barber. Finally nestled in his arms, and the Giants lead by 7.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Tiki Barber, on your right, had all 33 yards on that 5-play drive. 22 on the ground, 11 through the air, and the touchdown catch. How about that catch? That's the fullback, Turner, crossing the 40. And on that low kick with the wind, Turner gives the Eagles great field position, down 7.
When you're down here in the short end of the field, you try to create seams. Watch the pick play here. David Patton on Willie Thomas. There creates the separation for Tiki Barber to get by him. Just how you want to run it. Run a pattern, wall off the linebacker, create that seam. Not much at all. Watch Patton inside. Just stops there. The little bump is enough separation for Tiki Barber to get in the end zone and be open.
First career touchdown receiving for Tiki Barber. This is Charlie Garner bouncing outside, getting up to the 49 and picking up 5 yards, where he was met by Jason Sehorn. Word on Hoying, when he was helped off the last timer, walked off a little woozy, got the wind knocked out of him. And it was that sack and that fumble recovered by Hamilton which set up the go-ahead touchdown.
Yeah, so it's been the mistakes so far that have been the scores in this game.
Second down and 5. This is Turner out of the backfield. He dropped it. A little underthrown, and Turner could not adjust and hang on.
Yeah, and he had Corey Widmer beat. That ball was just underthrown. If that was thrown on the money, it could have gone downfield far. Now, don't forget, he's thrown his ball into that fierce wind that we've seen the punters struggling with. Seems to just slow up there as it was thrown in the air. And he knew it. Oh, I'd like to have that one back.
Now Mark Say in the lineup for the Eagles, a 3 wide receiver set on 3rd and 5. Hoying has time, not anymore, and he lost it again. Recovered by the Giants and Strahan. And now Hoying can't hang on to the ball.
No. And how can he? How can he with that kind of protection up front? He's got to be getting upset too. 21 times now he's been sacked since he's been in. That's ridiculous. That's 4 today. Watch it right over here on Mayberry. I mean, that's the worst pass rusher the Giants have. We talked to John Fox. We talked to Jim Fossil. He said, you know, he's concerned. Concerned about Holsey over there. We need to get a rush out of him. He's pretty good playing the run, but we need that rush out of him. Well, they got a rush out of him.
And Hoying another fumble. And now the Giants at the Philadelphia 40, leading by 7. 4:23 left in the half. Play action from Cannell toward the end zone. Patton right in his arms. Touchdown, New York. Quick strike from the Giants, who now lead 20-7 with the extra point coming up.
And the Giants are doing something, Joe, that they haven't been able to do. That's take advantage of all the times the defense gets the ball back in the offense's hands.
Patton, who made his first NFL start today, gets his 2nd touchdown of the season on the longest career reception, 40 yards from Danny Cannell. And now Dalwiso. Just like that, it's 21-7 Giants with 4:17 remaining in the first half. Giants trying to hang on to first place. Patton was hit right in the arms.
Watch this pass pattern here. David Patton down. Now, he gets deep, and he comes back inside, and the safety's a little slow here getting over. And that forces man-to-man coverage up top, and Patton has it all the way.
Beautiful throw from Danny Cannell. Hit him in stride as he crossed the goal line. And now Deuce Staley from the back of the end zone will take a knee, and the Eagles will start at their own 20.
I think it's safe to say that the challenge issued earlier this week, Danny Cannell stepped up. Making the right decisions, being smart with the ball, and then this beautiful throw right here. That's perfect. That's in stride. He never broke stride. Placed that ball perfect. And they're going after Charles Dimry, too.
Dimry, who has struggled in trying to fill in for the injured Bobby Taylor, and they go right at him. We talked about points off turnovers. All 21 New York points today off the 3 turnovers by Philadelphia. Ricky Waters hits the hole hard, crosses the 25, brought down near the 27 by Garnes, the safety.
The story today has really been the points off the turnovers. That's where the Giants have struggled, and they got them today. Now, coming into this game, they couldn't do anything with the ball. The defense would get it back in their hands, and they couldn't put any points on the board out of that. But today, they're 3 for 3 in turnovers and getting points off of it.
2nd down and 4. A quiet Veteran Stadium. Trying to set up the screen, and it's just not there. Agnew and Widmer were out there with Ricky Waters.
Yeah, Ray Agnew, the veteran, he wasn't fooled at all by that. He saw that slow screen developing, and he just came off his pass rush and went out there with Waters.
Here's the last 4 weeks, Bill. The Giants defense, 12 takeaways, an NFL best, but only 16 points off all 12 takeaways today, 21 points off 3.
Yeah, and most of those 16 points were field goals. And today they answer with the 3 turnovers, and they get 3 touchdowns out of it. That's big.
Now 3rd down and 4 for the Eagles, who trail by 14. Tipped and nearly picked off. Jesse Armstead there defending on the tight end, and it was Wooten who almost came away with the interception.
The Eagles are out of their game. Obviously, they're behind, and they want to make something happen, but they are out of their game. They're not sure what they want to do. They started off the last 2 series trying to establish a running game. They come out of it from that. There's mistakes on pass routes. There's mistakes on offensive line protection.
I said Wooten. It was Sparks who almost came up with the interception. Hoying 0 for his last 3 with 2 fumbles. The last 2 possessions, and now this possession, it's time for the Eagles to punt. Bad snap, nicely played by Hutton, and a good punt into the wind as Toomer takes it at the 40. To the sideline and out of bounds. Farmer downfield to make the stop. He had help. 34-yard punt, 7-yard return. Danny Cannell back to work. Giants lead by 14.
Yep.
Giants with that quick snap count. Snapped it, handed the ball to Tiki Barber, who got to the middle of the line, was hit, lost the ball after he was down. The Eagles thinking they had a fumble recovery. That's not the case. Barber got 2, 2nd and 8.
The Eagles thought they had it.
Willie Thomas with a hit. But Barber was ruled down, and now 2nd down and 8. Charles Way, the fullback. Wow. Lowers his shoulder. Gets near 1st down yardage. He got 6, 3rd and 2.
I'll tell you right now, the Giants' offensive line is just dominating the defense of the Eagles. You want to take a listen to the game? Listen here. That's what it's like to get hit by Charles Way. 250-pound fullback with those big shoulder pads and a head of steam coming at you.
James Darling, who laid a hit earlier on Tiki Barber, was the one who took the punishment there from the fullback, Charles Way. 2-minute warning, 1st half, and we give you our Aflac trivia question. In a 16-game season, who's the last NFC East team to win the division with fewer than 10 wins? The answer when we return. The guys at Aflac are getting tricky. It's a trick question. In a 16-game season, who's the last team to win the NFC East with less than 10 wins? The answer is never. No one. No team has won the division with fewer than 10 wins. You talk about the strike years. In '82, they ranked the teams in each conference. There was no NFC East. Way on 2. Again, lays a hit, gets inside the 40. He picked up 9. Dimry was the one who had to make the stop on Way. And it's Dimry who's down on his belly after that hit.
Well, and they're trying to do anything. The Eagles are trying to do anything at all to stop the surge from the Giants up front. And it's not working. They're getting pounded. They are getting pounded. Look here. This is Zordich. The strong safety is up here. Watch. He has a chance to make a tackle as he slides down right there. He has a chance to wrap him up, and it doesn't stop him. And Dimry has to come up here, and no one wants to take on Charles Way when he's in the secondary with a head of steam.
Well, Dimry, as he laid down, cost his team a timeout, so the Eagles are left with 1 timeout. But right now, they're trying to slow down this Giants team, which has exploded offensively with 21 points, all points off turnovers, leading by 14 with the ball, and a first down inside the Eagle 40. Talk about Charles Way, you're talking about a fullback with a lot of punch. 4.9 yards per carry. He hasn't had a lot of action.
That's exceptional. I like Way. I liked him last year. To me, he reminds me of an Edgar Bennett, who was a fullback up in Green Bay, and then due to injuries, they virtually had to use him. They had to let him tote the mail. And what they found by letting him tote the mail is, hey, this guy's pretty good. He can do it. He could be a feature back. In a 1-back set with 2 tight ends in the line of scrimmage, let him hammer. And then he's also exceptional as a lead blocker and catching the ball as a receiver in the flat.
Dimry is still down and being looked at. Saw that replay. He really didn't get hammered by Way, but something is wrong with Dimry, and as they continue to check on him.
I think it was something to do with his arm, the way he stuck his arm in there as Way was turning, and kind of pulled him to the ground.
So while they look at Dimry, we look at this Giants offense, and we've talked about it a couple of times already, but worth mentioning again. The call was made by Jim Fossil to his young quarterback, second-year quarterback Danny Cannell, and so far, outside of a couple of mistakes, dropping the ball earlier in the game, which led to the only Eagles touchdown, he's played very, very well.
No, there's not going to be any changes. None made today. And I think a lot of it had to do with he wanted to see how he would respond. You know, he inserted him in the lineup, and the guy performed admirably for a while. Then it got bad. Last 4 weeks have been rather bad for Cannell. So he wants to challenge him a little bit for these last 3 games down the stretch to make sure that he's ready to accept the position of leading this team into the playoffs and then on through the playoffs. But Jim Fossil's smart. He works all angles, and like I said before, I like what he does. He is getting a lot out of an offense that doesn't have much at all.
John Fox, the defensive coordinator for the Giants, telling me before the game, if Danny Cannell steps up, plays well in this stadium with these wind conditions, in this situation in the NFC East, then he's for real.
And that's the pressure he wanted to see him respond to.
1:40 left in the first half. Giants leading 21-7. Tiki Barber out of the backfield. Inside the 35, brought down near the 32. A gain of 5. Second down and 5 coming up. Brian Dawkins there to make the stop for the Eagles.
Look how smooth Cannell was right there, Joe. He steps back. It's a pure pass play. Now watch the coverage here. Watch the coverage here. And his tight end is covered as well. So what does he do? He gets a quick glimpse at it, sees the coverage, sees there's no one open, and dumps the ball after the flat.
Now with just over a minute left, the toss to Barber gets nothing. Back to the line of scrimmage, where it will be third down with a minute left, still counting. Coming up with the Dockers Khakis halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Ronnie will bring you all the scores and highlights from around the league. Don't miss our Fox Sports ticker with up-to-the-minute stats. All that and more on the Dockers Khaki halftime report.
Those guys bring you all the stats, all the scores, all the updates, and they bring you the extra, too. You know, they always give you the extra that makes that whole show so entertaining.
Well, we are down to near half a minute left in this first half, 32 seconds, and The Giants will spend a timeout. They are left with only one. Each side has one. Giants have a 14-point lead. Well, as you look at this NFC Eastern Division, you figure that the division winner will go to the playoffs, Bill, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah. And really, for all these teams, you look at them, this playoff race has kind of been run in reverse. I mean, it's been out there for someone to take, and no one has really stepped up to take it. The Giants today are playing like a team that wants to go out and take it.
3rd down and 5 now. The Giants 5 out of 9 on 3rd down. Cannell was throwing to Bob, who's standing on the sideline and not wearing a Giants uniform. There was nobody down there. Patton was close, but those two are not on the same page of the playbook.
No, they weren't. And like we talked about before, this is Patton's first start. And he looked like he wanted to run the corner route. At least that's what Cannell thought he was going to run, but Patton broke it off short.
So now this will be roughly a 51-yard try for Dalwiso. And as we mentioned, with the wind, 3 games, he hit one from 68. So distance is not a problem. Accuracy always is. Good snap, good hold, the kick, plenty of distance, but no good. Wide to the right. Officially a 50-yard try. Wide to the right, and Dalwiso now 16 out of 25 for the season.
And for the Eagles now, who are going to take the ball over here with 22 seconds left. They need, here's the kick. Nice distance, but you're going to see it just slides right outside here. Pretty close. Good distance.
Good distance, Bill.
Good distance.
He had the distance covered there, Bill.
Distance was good. But for the Eagles, I mean, this group has to go in at halftime and rethink their position of what they want.
Working into the wind, they're still going to try to put it up. 1 timeout remaining in the completion. Good for a 1st down into Giants territory, and the Eagles will spend that timeout. Jesse Armstead there for New York. And now Philadelphia with no timeouts remaining, 14 seconds. And when you watch Hoying work this 2-minute offense, you think back to last week and what he did for the Eagles, who, well, they came away with a victory against the Cincinnati team, and they really didn't play all that well, especially defensively.
Well, what he's seeing today is a different type of defense, which we talked about, and he's seeing the pressure from the defensive line up front, which makes his job even tougher. Now he's got the tough man-to-man coverage outside with good cover guys in Seahorn and Sparks on his receivers, and he has to play that guessing game, that chess game, along with the fact that his offensive line is getting beat.
Trying to figure out how much time should be on the clock. They've put it at 15 seconds now. And again, the Eagles without a timeout. And a 1st down just inside New York territory, down by 14. Just a 3-man rush for the Giants. This is to the sideline. Waters bouncing out of bounds near the 34-yard line. They'll mark it at the 35 with 10 seconds remaining. Hard to believe that play only took 5 seconds. But it did, and now with 10 seconds remaining, they have another shot at getting it within field goal range. And again, working into the wind down on this end of the field.
Yeah, they'd have to get this down there pretty far. So I think they're going to have to. I would try. Go for the end zone. I mean, take a shot here and go at
it. It is 1st down with 10 seconds remaining, and they do shoot at the end zone. Fryer, penalty flag on the play. Now this could be enormous with 3 seconds left. We'll check the flag. Indications are it's against the Giants.
Illegal contact. Number 22 of the defense. 5 yards. Automatic 1st down.
But only the 5-yard penalty, which still does not put it within typical field goal range into the wind. But they're going to try it here nonetheless.
Here's Sparks down here. And this is actually, you could call this at any time. Well, there he gets the shuck at about 5 yards. Right there. That little shove right there is what got the call.
Well, this is going to be a test for Boniol. About a 48-yard try into the teeth of the wind. Thank you, Bill. Good snap, good hold. Does it have enough distance? Off the crossbar, no good.
Not good distance, Joe.
Not good distance, Bill. And the 49-yard try, no good by Boniol. And it's still a 14-point game at the half. J.B. Terry, Howie, and Ronnie will be along from the Fox Television Center after this. Ball kicked away from the start of the second half. There's your score. Giants lead by 14. Give you a highlight from the first half. It's brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT.
David Patton outside, number 83 right here. And here's Tiki Barber. Tiki Barber runs here, but what happens is Patton has the pick on Willie Thomas, and that springs that whole thing open. Watch Patton come down inside on Willie Thomas, then Tiki Barber. That's the separation you need down there close to the end zone.
And really, this has been Tiki Barber late in the first half because Wheatley goes down with the injury. And you can talk about Cannell and the Giants offense, but why not talk about that Giant defense? Really, they have shut down the Eagles so far.
And they've been doing it for the team all year long, Joe. This defense creates turnovers, pressures. They're getting the ball back to the offense. Now the offense knows what to do with it. Today, it's been really the pressure they're putting on Hoying. They're getting after that offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles. First is Michael Strahan. He's got the pressure, and Hamilton comes up with a sack, and Scott Gallion on the outside on the blitz. And then even Bernard Holmes, he gets in on the action. He beats Jermaine Mayberry around the corner, causes the fumble. That sets up another touchdown. And, Joe, that's it. The 4 sacks have been the problem. It's tough enough for Hoying to go out there and to see what they're doing defensively and coverage-wise, let alone have all that pressure in his lap.
So it goes back to not only the defense for the Giants, but really the struggles up front for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they have been struggling, especially lately with Hoying, who's been sacked over 20 times. And here he is playing in just his 5th game, his 4th start in the NFL.
And that's tough for any quarterback. I don't care who's out there. I don't care if it's Detmer, Pete. I don't care what quarterback you suit up and put out there. If you're getting sacked that many times, you can't make your offense function correctly.
Bobby Hoying and the Eagles will get it to start this second half as Deuce Staley and Mel Gray wait deep for the Eagles. Talk about the wind. You're probably tired of hearing us talk about the wind, but it just blew the football off the tee. Dalwiso has to reset it as the Giants. There's the wind on the top of the stadium, but that wind has almost the same effect as it does at Giants Stadium.
Well, it's blowing one way up
down
top there, Joe. Yeah, and it comes down the other direction down on the field.
This is Staley from the 14. Trying a reverse to Gray. And Mel Gray crosses the 25, where he is met by Lane, one of the backup running backs, and Thomas Randolph. A little trickery at the start, but it did not get much for the Eagles, and we look at the first half stats.
Well, you take a look where the Eagles offense hasn't done much at all. Their yards, they're not doing anything. But here's the biggest difference in the game. The 21 points off the turnover right there. And those turnovers are been created by the Giants defense, which has been playing well under John Fox all year long.
First down for Philadelphia as they hand to Ricky Waters, and from the backside, that's Holsey again. He came from the backside to climb up the back of Ricky Waters.
Yeah, he did. But the reason you're able to slide down the line and make a play is because at the point of attack, it was stuffed up. Robert Harris, 97, watch him play this. Watch him stuff this whole thing up so Holsey can scoot down the line. See him just dump Turner, and when your point of attack has been stuffed up, then your pursuit can come in and finish it off.
Waters with 28 yards in this game, 1 touchdown. As Hoying throws on second down behind Garner. Incomplete.
You know, the Philadelphia Eagles really, so far in this game, offensively, haven't been the Eagles' offense that I've seen in the past. They're not moving the ball around. They're not making the passes all over the field to a lot of different receivers like I've seen. And in the past few weeks, they've gotten the ball to the tight end. We have not had tight end participation thus far.
0 for 5 on 3rd down are the Eagles as they face a 3rd and 8. Plenty of time and complete to the near sideline. That's Timpson.
That's a start. That's a start. And then where it starts is where it always starts, up front. He had time to let Timpson run his route. That was a double move by Timpson until he got to the out, and Hoying had time to find him. Watch Brooks here. Brooks on Strahan. He's getting a little chip help from the fullback Turner, but that takes away the pass rush and enables Hoying to find his receiver.
For 14 yards and a first down, this is Ricky Waters hopping outside, lowering his head and brought down at the 49. Pickup of 7 on first down. Tito Wooten made the stop for the Giants. Just a couple of quick points, Billy. Take a look at this run by Ricky Waters.
Well, it's going here, and then he bounces it back outside. But Armstead is with him all the way. Armstead knows and understands what teams are doing. This defense is kind of built around Jesse Armstead. He's a weak side linebacker. It's back off the ball a lot, hiding behind the defensive lineman, and flows to the ball.
Second down and 3. Waters again met in the backfield and hit, dropped immediately.
Now, you would think that they would be able to go out and pick up the short yardage. Second down and 3. But this Eagles offense operates best when the pass opens up the run. We saw the first down completion. Hoying had time, he hit Timpson, and they come back off of that, and it opened up the run. Now they come back at short yardage, 2nd and 3, and they try to run again, and there's nothing there.
While the Eagles set up, facing a 3rd and 3, keep in mind Irving Fryer only 1 catch today. Hoying in this passing attack been limited by this Giants defense. 3rd down, plenty of time over the middle. Bobbled, but caught. That's Mark Say, and a first down for Philadelphia.
That was a heck of a catch. That was a heck of a catch by Say. A lot of traffic around him. Hoying never saw the most open receiver on the field, and that was Fryer. A lot of traffic, a lot of bodies around there in the vicinity. Nice concentration by Mark Say.
And really, you can see when Hoying has had the time to sit back there and look downfield, he's really put the ball where he's had to.
Yeah, and he hasn't had time in the first half to find Fryer. That was the problem. That's why Fryer has 1 catch.
On first down, more time for Hoying toward the end zone, and Garner through his arms, incomplete. Behind the safety, Garnes, and right through his arm.
Well, it was right through his arm, yes, but he had a tough time finding the ball. Where it should have been thrown, right here, it's not. He has to turn all the way around and look back over his head. That's a tough catch to make. Also worrying about where the boundaries are to get your feet in bounds.
So a tough catch for Garner, could not make it. And this will be the 8th play of this drive, a sustained drive for the Eagles, facing 2nd and 10. On the ground with Waters. He gets near the 36. He got 4, and a 3rd and 6 coming up. Holsey was there along with Ellsworth.
Armstead made a nice play on that too. That was a draw play, and he came in there and just got an ankle. He wrapped up his ankle and pulled Ricky to the ground.
Check out the yards per rush. The Giants just under 4 yards a carry. The Eagles 3.7. They need 6 yards for a fresh set of downs here. Blitz coming. Hoying gets rid of it through the arms of Solomon. Incomplete, and it's Wooten defending for the Giants.
Well, that was a nice play by everybody on the defense of the Giants. You're having a nice linebacker play out of Armstead, flying around making tackles. You're getting a good pass rush and the line domination up front by these guys. Then you have the blitz. There's Armstead out here on the blitz and Gallion, and then you have good coverage downfield by Wooten.
And with 4th and 6 from the New York 36, the Eagles will go for it. Down by 14. Hoying throws, and it's incomplete. Solomon again, covered by Hamilton. Even had Solomon come down with it, he did not have enough yardage for a first down. So the Eagles go for it on 4th down, turn it over on downs. Giants have the ball and the lead.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Lexus. The future of Lexus is here. Fasten your seatbelts. By Die Hard, America's most trusted battery. Die Hard, what's under your hood? By Energizer, long-lasting Energizer batteries keep going and going. And by Tomorrow Never Dies, starring Pierce Brosnan, opens everywhere December 19th, rated PG-13.
Fox and that Giants defense playing big today for New York. And as the Giants take over, they hand the ball to their running back, Tiki Barber. By the way, the word on Tyrone Wheatley, the ankle not broken, but severely sprained. And he will not return this afternoon. So it's Barber, and I'm sure he'll get help from Pegram eventually.
Well, they can put anybody they want back there. It doesn't matter. They could suit anybody up and put them back there, because the story for the Giants offense is that big offensive line. And that's the biggest transition I've seen for them offensively from last year, is that these guys are sound.
Second down and 6. It's Barber again over the left side. Not much. Brought down by Greg Jefferson, the left defensive end, and now 3rd and 4 coming up.
And there's no worse feeling as a defense when you're out there on the field and you know what the offense has and you can't stop it. That's a sense of helplessness. It's a sense of just being outmanned at your position you're playing. And they all feel it out there right now.
Extra defensive backs for the Eagles on 3rd and 4. Over the middle and caught. A first down in midfield. It's Callaway. William Thomas brought him down, but not until Callaway got to the 50.
And I talk about the sense of helplessness. It's no secret when the Giants do have to throw the ball who they're going to go to. Their #1 receiver is Callaway. He's the most consistent guy they've had. He's not the most athletic guy. He's not the fastest guy, but he's their go-to guy.
Look at Callaway and the numbers and his importance to this Giants offense. Right at midfield, a first down for New York. Tiki Barber, met in the backfield, gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
And you see the Eagles are starting to try to blow things up. They're starting to try to slant and shoot gaps. Hollis Thomas was in the backfield rather quick that time, obviously shooting a gap to get in there. And they're gambling now. They're selling out, and they have to sell out because they can't match up with the offensive line.
Second down and 10. Out of the backfield, Tiki Barber. William Thomas pushes him out of bounds as he gets to the 46, a gain of 4. 3rd and 6 coming up.
Watch what Cannell has him doing here. Now Cannell knows, he says he sees him gamble the last play on the run. So now watch here. Look at all the bodies that are up around the line of scrimmage. Cannell checks out of this. He sees this and says, heck no, let's just dump it out here to the flat. Now it's going to put another pressure on him. And Barber takes it and runs it up for 10 yards. I mean, hey, he's playing good today. He's thought this thing through. He's prepared. And there's no question that this kid's ready to take him where they want to go.
And he's been a headache for Emmett Thomas in this Philadelphia defense. Play clock is down to 2, now 1. They just got it away on 3rd down, and it's picked off. Dawkins to the sideline. Cannell can't get to him. Dawkins, touchdown.
Remember all that stuff we just talked about? Forget it. Throw that out the window.
While all of the celebrating, and I underline the word celebrating, by Dawkins was going on, back at the Giants' 45-yard line, there's an Eagle down and being tended to by the training staff. Checking the right knee of their best defensive player, William Thomas.
What a blow that would be.
So the celebration, hoping to make it a 7-point game. Extra point forthcoming, but right now all thoughts on William Thomas. Here's the extra point try by Boniel to make it a 7-point game, and it's good. He's been perfect all year. Cannell throws the interception to Dawkins, and then it was William Thomas stealing all of the attention, and good news, Thomas able to walk off under his own power.
And for Cannell, sometimes the test comes before the lesson. He's sitting there and he's worried about that clock. Remember, you counted the clock down, Joe? And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to kill the clock. They take it down to the last second. Then he's forced to make a play, and he doesn't see Dawkins right there. He tries to force this ball in there, and there wasn't much room to throw the ball. Dawkins is all over Callaway and just steps in front of it.
It's Dawkins' first touchdown of the year, and for the Eagles, their second defensive touchdown of the season, and each team has a defensive touchdown today.
The Willie Thomas on the blitz right here does a nice job, except his teammate comes down and falls on top of him. On his knee, right there.
But he was able to pop up and walk off the field. It was Dawkins who really not only made a nice interception, but a heck of a run back to avoid Cannell, who tried to save the touchdown. The Giants will get it back as Boniol gets ready to kick it to Eric Pegram, waiting deep for the Giants. Short kick with the wind, taken from the 10. Pegram bouncing it outside. Boniol there to help run him out of bounds. There are 2 penalty flags on this play, and the Eagles indicating, or at least hoping, that it's against New York.
Well, where it's thrown there, right around the 40 and 35-yard line, that's usually the area of holding. That's where the line engages in their blocks.
A 56-yard return by Pegram, but it's coming back.
Holding number 37 of the receiving team during the run back. 10 yards. First down.
Eric Lane, the backup fullback. See if we can take a look and see if we can find him. There it is. I really didn't see it. Too bad of a deal in there, man. Looked pretty good all the way across.
On first down from the 30. This is Charles Way. He gets to the 35. Just one more note about the turnovers. 35 total points today scored, all points off turnovers.
That's been a key. Both these defenses are putting their offenses in situations to make plays. Although the Eagles' touchdowns, they've just taken the ball themselves and walked it in.
About 7 minutes left in the third quarter. A 7-point game, and it's Way again. Getting outside, getting the first down, getting into Philadelphia territory, where he's forced out by Willie Clark. A first down for New York. Let's take a McDonald's game break and head it back to JB in Hollywood.
Joe and Bill, Brett Favre, simply sensational. First quarterback ever to have 4 consecutive seasons having thrown 30 or more touchdowns. That's his 30th one to Dorsey Levin's 8-yard variety. Green Bay on top 14-6. Bucks trying to win to get into the playoffs. Back to Joe and Bill.
You don't think a quarterback makes a difference? How about those touchdowns?
This is the tight end Pierce. The throw is behind him from Cannell. And after that 23-yard gain by Way for a first down, the incomplete pass, second down coming up. Second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Talk about this NFC East. The Redskins take on the Arizona Cardinals. The Vikings take on the 49ers in San Francisco. Those games coming up next. Check your local listings. Second down and 10. Delayed handoff to Barber to the 40 to the 39. The word on Willie Thomas as the Eagles line up defensively without him. Bruised knee. And no word on whether he will return. Barber just picked up 4. It's now 3rd and 6.
Richard Dent's checked into the game along with Matt Stevens. He's in as nickelback.
The Giants already over 100 yards on the ground today. Crowd back into it on 3rd and 6, and the throw too high and nearly picked off. Vincent defending Toomer. 4th down coming up.
Boy, that was just a terrible throw. And again, you know, the only thing you can talk about is it the wind down there. The kickers have struggled off their foot. Here's Cannell. just a high thrown ball.
And two receivers in the same area for the Giants. Dropping incomplete, and because they are outside even the range of the strong leg Brad Delwiso, it's time for the Giants to punt. Maynard. Good snap. And a decent punt. Again into that wind. And it is out of bounds just inside the 15-yard line. Eagles take over. Down by 7. They have the ball. Third quarter. Well, Bill Maas, there is no time like this time in a season to have your defense pick it up.
Well, you're absolutely right, Joe Buck. You see Philadelphia, but that hasn't been all their problem, because just as for today, what we've seen, they've been put in tough situations. I mean, it's tough when you have to come in at the 2-yard line and go out there and play defense.
Hoying and the Eagles take over, down by 7. About 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. And to Ricky Waters. Cutting to the outside, breaking the tackle of Strahan, and he fell forward for a yard.
Now, one team that doesn't have any problems playing good defense is the Giants. They've been doing it all year, and that's the reason why. If you look at this team, you say, hey, how in the heck are the Giants at the top of the NFC East? John Fox is a big reason for that. Those guys love playing for him. We talked to the guys yesterday, and they just love being around them. And anytime they start feeling overconfident, Fox just tells them, hey, you only know about a third of the package. I'll get to the other stuff later.
Second down and 9. A quick throw to Garner, lined up wide to the right, breaks a tackle, gets a first down to the Philadelphia 30. Wooten finally there to end the play, a gain of 13.
And that is what Hoying and the Eagles offense are going to have to do. Joe, they got to start spreading the ball around. They got to get the ball outside. That helps open up the run inside. It's worked for them effectively. When they don't do that, they struggle.
First catch of the day for Garner, good for a first down. Down the middle of the field and over the outstretched hands of Freddie Sullivan.
That's forcing it. I mean, that's forcing the ball. Watch Ellsworth in the middle of the field, and he's looking all the way for this throw. He doesn't look around the field.
Percy Ellsworth coming over, and it was Hamilton with the initial coverage. Second down and 10. Hoying under heavy pressure, gets rid of it, and it's picked off by Armstead. His second of the day.
Well, that's twice he forced it. That's twice he forced it. Felipe Sparks came off the corner on the blitz. Jesse Armstead rolls out, picks up his cover. Here's Armstead. Watch him roll out there. There's the blitz, and Hoying forces his second pass, and again, this one picked off.
And again, it's Jesse Armstead.
Jesse Armstead numbers today. Big numbers. And watch, here he is right here. He's responsible for the back out of the backfield. Here's the motion. There's the blitz. There's no wide receiver out here, so he's just covering the back. Now, Hoying's mistake is Hoying tries to throw to where the blitz came from. Where Sparks came off the corner, Hoying tries to force it down there, and Armstead it's an easy pick.
Bobby Hoying today, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles lost. He's been sacked 4 times, and now Charles Way gets to the 35. He got 3. Second and 7. He was met by Greg Jefferson. Turnovers leading to points. That's been the story all day, Bill.
That's been the deal. All 35 points today are the result of turnovers. Now we have another one here. Giants ball inside the Eagles territory, and the Eagles have to make something happen. They've made the turnover, but they have not stopped the offense from taking advantage of their turnover.
Second down for the Giants. Way again. Falls forward for 3. 3rd and 4 now facing New York.
They've got to get off the field right here. You talk about 3 and out. You talk about playing defense. If you're a team that can run and make a run into the division, this is where it's won.
Well, the Eagles' run consists of winning today and for the next 2 weeks. A loss today, and they can forget about hopes for the postseason. The Giants a win today, and they have to like their chances in the NFC East. 3rd down and 4. Barber dropped it. Farmer was there for the Eagles. Barber was short of a first down anyway, and with the incompletion, we'll see what the Giants want to do. They're in that territory where they might go for it. Instead, they check in. They'll play conservatively with a 7-point lead. They thought about it for a while, but it will be Maynard to try to pin the Eagles back deep in their own end.
Normally, you would think this was to be the area you could take a shot down here to field goal. But they know how tough it is this end of the field to make a long field goal.
It would be a 50-yard try into the wind for Delwiso, so they punt it away with Maynard angling toward the sideline, and it's out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. Beyond the 15, they'll put it down to the 17. For the first time, a turnover did not result in points. Eagles defense stood up. Only 130 total yards for the Eagles offense, and this Giants defense again doing it for Jim Fossil's crew.
130 yards, and if you think about that offensively for the Eagles, who lead the league in passing yards per game.
First down for Philadelphia from their own 17. Charlie Garner to the 20, and that's it.
And that's why. You know, that's why the Eagles are struggling, because of the line play up front on the defensive side of the Giants. They are shutting everything down. They are putting pressure on the quarterback. They have totally changed the complexion of this game. The 4 defensive linemen up front for the Giants are what's doing it for the Giants.
2nd down and 7. Hoying has time, steps up, wants to run, does, and crosses the 25 short of a first down. Jesse Armstead made the tackle. 3rd and 1 coming up for the Eagles.
Armstead's everywhere. Came off. Watch him right here. Watch him go back into his pass coverage. Come back. Take the back out over here. Now watch. He breaks off of this. Has the back. He's out of the picture. And comes back in and gets a tackle to keep from making a first down.
Now you highlight that Philadelphia offensive line. 3rd and 1 for the Eagles. Under a minute and a half left in the 3rd quarter. That's a first down, and that's Charlie Garner. At the Philadelphia 29. Needed 1, he got 3.
Well, you see how he had to do it too, Joe? He had to go up and over. He had to go up and over because the holes aren't there. There's no holes up front. The Giants defensive line are just manhandling the Eagles front.
Garner 4 carries for 16 yards. From the 29, again it's Garner. And from the backside, Armstead was there to help on the tackle.
Watch Sehorn. Watch Sehorn off the blitz. Armstead makes a nice play by stepping up here, but watch off the corner. There's a blitz on. Here's Sehorn. Watch him flatten. He gets in on it as well. There's a blitz on. Now he crosses the line of scrimmage. Now when you get across there, react. How he reacts is flatten down the line of scrimmage. He gets a piece of it. They call that defense a crunch defense when a corner's coming on the blitz.
Sehorn likes to blitz against the pass and against the run. 2nd down and 8 off the hands of Marseille and incomplete. And Hoying is now 3 out of 10 for 37 yards and 1 interception this half.
Well, that doesn't help. I mean, you can't really look at Bobby Hoying's numbers and say Bobby Hoying's had a bad day. And so much of that goes with the quarterback. Oh, Bobby Hoying's having a bad day. Well, when your offensive line isn't protected and you're getting dumped on your can, and you put your ball right in the receiver's hands and they drop it for a first down, that's not Bobby Hoying's fault.
Armstead checks out with some injury. So out of the lineup is Jesse Armstead on 3rd down and 8. Hoying. Dropped by Ricky Waters, short of the first down anyway. And this New York Giants defense just keeps doing it, and doing it. That's the end of quarter number 3, a 7-point game. The Giants about to get it back after this from your local Fox station. Welcome back to Veterans Stadium for the start of quarter number 4. At this point, Bill, that I regret my decision to leave meteorology school to become a play-by-play announcer because we keep talking about the wind. Here we are again because the quarter ended. Now Tom Hutton has to punt right into the wind.
Yeah, and the barometer's 29.9 and dropping.
Waiting deep is Amani Toomer. The Giants ought to end up with great field position after this punt. Beautiful punt by Hutton. As good as you can want with the conditions. Toomer gets to the 30, and then he is thrown backward. Just a 9-yard return, and it's the tight end. Jimmy Johnson and Chad Lewis both were downfield to make the stop. And Cannell and the Giants offense goes back to work. Well, tomorrow, Fox honors the hottest stars in music, including Garth Brooks, LeAnn Rimes, Aerosmith, Jewel, and more at the 1997 Billboard Music Awards. It all happens tomorrow live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central here on Fox. Toss to Tiki Barber. Gets to the corner, and a nice gain on first down as he crossed the 35. He got 5. Brian Dawkins there to force him out of bounds.
John, you look at these teams and you look at 2 young quarterbacks, and you kind of really get the game you would expect when you have 2 young quarterbacks. You see the mistakes, and it's cost both of them, and they've resulted in all the points today. But the Giants defense has been much more sound, and that's why they're still ahead in this game.
2nd down and 5. Charles Way picks his way near the 40 and brought down just short of a first down by James Willis.
Charles Way on the handoff, and that's the one back set. Watch him pick his way in there. There's Willis. It overcomes Darling, and he still falls forward.
Short of a first down by about half a yard. We'll call it 3rd and 1. Word on Tyrone Wheatley will not return this afternoon. Out with a bad ankle. Tiki Barber hops over one tackler and lunges forward, crossing the 40, and that's a Giants first down.
All that running was for nothing because where it came down to was that last lunge.
And Barber with a smile as he heads back toward the huddle.
Watch the guys up front. There's Way. He gets down on Zorge, and that just gives Tiki enough to get over him. And then it's that lunge right there that enables him to get the first down.
On first down, Cannell throws, and he has his man Patton wide open. He gets to midfield, a yard short of a first down. Dawkins, the safety, there to bring him down.
You know, the Eagles have to realize that they're still in this game. It's a 7-point game. Now, offensively, they haven't done anything. And defensively, they haven't done anything. They've been fortunate enough to take advantage of a couple mistakes by Cannell and make turnovers. But they haven't done anything as far as the scheme of stopping their offense because they're letting them run the ball. But with down by 7 points, this team has to realize they're still in it and can win this thing.
2nd down and 1. Charles Way gets a first down. Brought down at the 47 of Philadelphia by Rhett Hall. So Charles Way now with all that blocking. He's carried the ball 11 times, averaging 5.8 a carry.
Yeah, and there's a season average above that at 4.9, and that tells you the story today. The Eagles' defensive line is not getting it done.
First down for Cannell to throw. Incomplete for the tight end, Howard Cross. Howard Cross has been asking for the ball more, and well, he has a catch today.
Well, when you do that right there, you're not going to get the ball thrown to you much. When it hits you in the hands and you drop it, Quarterbacks work on confidence. Quarterbacks want to know that when they throw that ball out there, there's so much else going on around them. There's so many things that lead up to the moment that you pass the ball that when they make the decision to pass the ball, they want it caught.
2nd down and 10. Fake reverse. Tiki Barber hangs on to it. Has a 1st down. Now thinking touchdown. Dawkins there to force him out of bounds near the 5.
And everybody bid on it. Everybody bid on Callaway's fake. They're going to hand this off here to Barber. Now, over here, there's Callaway, and everybody stopped. Look, he's still looking back here. Now you get the blockers out in front. Look at the way, again, on Zordich.
And as Barber cruised down the sideline for 42 yards, they spot the ball at the 5. 1st and goal for the Giants, who lead by 7. Lead the division by a game, and Dawkins comes up to upend Tiki Barber right at the line of scrimmage.
Nice fill. Nice fill by the safety down here, backed up in the short field. And that's how you have to play the running game down here. You have to get your safeties to fill like that. But I'll tell you, Joe, I mean, for the Giants today look extremely well coached. They haven't made the mistakes, the glaring mistakes. Now we've seen some mistakes by the quarterback, but overall, I'm talking about the players out there. They are well versed in what had to be done today.
2nd down and goal. Cannell rolls out. Can find no one. Back of the end zone. Touchdown.
They threw a flag, and that's going to be on Vincent, I believe.
A flag did come down at the end of the play. But Callaway in the back of the end zone came down with it.
I was expecting Cannell to throw that away. That was a lot of patience. Yeah, that's on Troy Vincent. I was expecting Cannell to throw the ball, Joe, out of the end zone, but he waited and waited and waited.
Number 23 of the defense. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
So it is Vincent, it is Callaway, it is a touchdown, and right now a 13-point lead with the extra point coming up.
And like I was talking about, Jim Fossil has this group well versed in what needed to be done today. They're not making mistakes. They're playing together as a unit, and that's what it takes in this league.
I thought, like you thought, and I'm sure many watching, that Cannell was just going to throw it out of the back of the end zone. Instead, he finds Callaway, and it's Dalwiso trying to make it a 14-point game, and he does. The extra point is good, and it's a 28-14 Giants lead. They have a lead in the NFC East. They have a 14-point fourth quarter lead here in Philadelphia.
Hey, you've heard of coverage sacks? This is the other end of it. This is a rushless catch. There is good coverage all around here. Everybody is covered up. Look at it. There's nowhere to throw the ball, but there's no rush. So when there's no rush and you're buying time, you're going to get somebody open, and they find Callaway in the corner. But Callaway helps himself out, too. He was down there, and he was pushing off a little bit, created a little separation for Cannell to find him.
Callaway gets number 6. It's a 14-point Giant lead. Under 11 to play in this one. You can forget this. Might go through the uprights, almost.
Not enough distance.
That's right. You're right. Dalwiso kicks it through the back of the end zone, and the Eagles down by 14. Start with it at their 20. High fives and smiles for Danny Cannell. Chris Callaway in the back of the end zone. He hung in there with Cannell, and he gets the touchdown.
Well, watch Chris. You don't play 8 years in this league and not know all the little tricks. He looks like he's going to buy time. He comes back in to get a little separation, then he pushes off Willie Clark.
14-point lead for the Giants. Eagles have it. Hoying back to work. And dropped by Timpson.
Again, that's why everybody's going to say that Hoying's day came or Hoying didn't have the numbers or whatever you may have. You just see the reaction there of Zordich. Yeah, it's just it's one of those days. Nothing seems to be going right. And even the guys on the defense know it from watching the offense on the field. But you talk about Hoying, I mean, how can you get anything done when you're getting knocked down and your receivers aren't catching the ball?
Irving Fryer still with only one catch in this important game for the Eagles. 2nd down over the middle. Nicely played by Tito Wooten as Chad Lewis couldn't hang on.
And the tight ends today still without a catch. And those were the guys that stepped up in the last few weeks. Have been catching the ball and doing things with this offense. That position doesn't have any catches today. And Wooten was all over him. Wooten just sit there and trailed on his hip. Watch him on his hip and then just step in front. And see that arm back there? That's playing it perfectly. He has the arm there as backup to make the tackle in case he misses with the left hand.
And now 3rd down and 10. Hoying has time. Say makes the catch and has a Philadelphia 1st down. Well, if he dropped one earlier, this time he hung in well for Bobby Hoying.
He hung in there nice, and Bobby Hoying threw a good ball, too.
Hoying's a guy who, even during his collegiate career, was surrounded by wonderful talent.
I think that's why he's able to play at this level. He's used to playing with guys of that caliber.
At Terry Glenn, he had Joey Galloway, at Eddie George. Hoying throws and finds Timpson. It was touchdown just short of midfield. A McDonald's game break. Back to James Brown. He's in our Fox Television Center.
Joe and Bill. Billy Joe Hobart knows the playbook here in New Orleans. Take a look. 34 yards to Andre Hastings. First touchdown pass in 7 games for the Saints. They're on top by 7. Steve Walsh in now for the Buccaneers, who trail the Packers by 11. 4 minutes left. Back to Joe and Bill.
All right, JB, thank you for the update from midfield. Philadelphia with it, down by 14. They have a 1st down. Trying to set up a screen. One-handed catch by Waters. Penalty flag on the play. And Waters gets down inside the Giant 45, but again, a flag on the play. Ray Agnew was back there to make the stop for the Giants, and an ineligible man downfield for Philadelphia.
Yeah, you can't leave.
Ineligible downfield.
And that's the
number
blocker.
72.
Yeah,
5
Joe
yards.
Panos.
Repeat 1st down.
You can't get downfield and start blocking before the pass is thrown. Watch the blitz here. Watch Armstead bring it here and then bounce back outside. He gets Kraft to commit and the tackle to Mayberry to commit, and then he comes free. That's a heck of a grab by Walters, that one-handed grab. But Panos was downfield too far before the pass was thrown.
So now 1st and 15. Big rush, Hoying over the middle, and it's picked off. Picked off by Percy Ellsworth. His 4th interception of the season. Heavy pressure by Harris, and Hoying throws another pick.
Well, what was Ricky Waters doing?
3rd interception of the day thrown by Hoying. Waters couldn't get it. Ellsworth could.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Saturn. A different kind of company, a different kind of car.
On 1st down, the hand is to Tiki Barber. And he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage by the Eagles. A loss of 1. Farmer made the stop.
Let's go back and look at his interception. Remember the great catch Ricky Waters made with a one-handed grab? Ricky Waters does not give all his effort on this play right here. This is the result. This is what happens when you got guys that don't give effort. He tried to, what, another one-handed grab? Where's the other 2 hands to go up and get that ball, pull that thing down? This isn't a team right now playing as if they want to go down and win the last 3 games and want to be in the playoffs. Effort like that is evident, and so is the effort in the offensive and defensive lines for the Eagles today.
Ricky Waters has had trouble in this stadium as an Eagle, going over the middle and not giving it all. As Barber gets back to the original line of scrimmage to make it 3rd and 10. It was, what, the first game for Waters when he came here to Philadelphia. When he went across the middle, didn't want to stretch out. This time he didn't stretch out, really didn't even try for them. Really didn't even put 2 hands up and make an effort to make that catch.
Very lackluster effort at all to even go get the ball.
That was when Waters had to recoil and apologize. Sure, he won't make the same statement after the game, but Hoying's 3rd interception gives it back to the Giants, who lead by 14. Blitz coming. And a penalty flag on the play. waiting for the flag to be thrown as Tim McTire, who was coming on the corner blitz, jumped over the line too quickly.
Sure did. He was in that neutral zone area there.
Offside, the right defensive end entered the neutral zone, 5 yards. Repeat, third down.
Well, I think happens here. Here's Mamula. They're going to call it on. Well, right here, the corner comes up inside there. He's the one in the neutral zone. That's who they called on. They called it on the right end. Actually, the right end at that time was McTire, who was the corner coming in on the blitz.
And now 3rd and 5. Big blitz coming, and Mamula gets his hand up to bat it down. Time for the Giants to punt.
Mamula on the outside. He stays outside where you can always find Mamula. Gets his hand up and right in the quarterback's path there.
Mamula's really been under fire this season with only 2 sacks. Able to bat that one down, force the punt. With Mel Gray waiting deep. Maynard back to punt for the Giants. Beautiful punt. Fair catch made by Mel Gray, and he made the fair catch at the 5.
Yeah.
A mental mistake by Mel Gray, who was just picked up by the Eagles. Philadelphia will have it starting from their own 5-yard line.
Keeps getting worse.
Well, as you look at all the teams in the NFC that are still hoping for postseason play, you look at the quarterbacks and the two-year players. Cannell for the Giants, Hoying for the Eagles, hooking up here today. And really the Giants have outplayed the Eagles in every phase of this game
because they have a better supporting cast.
Hoying to throw, finds the fullback Turner. He gets to the 5, maybe the 6. We'll call it a gain of 1. Conrad Hamilton was there to defend for the Giants.
And one heck of a defense too, Joe. You know, you talk about the Eagles. Ray Rhodes, talking to Ray Rhodes about everything, he says he wants guys that are going to be on this team, they're going to play this game with their fists balled up. He doesn't want them out there with their hands open, because when you're in a fight, you have to keep your fists balled up.
2nd down and 9 for the Eagles. Hoying to Waters, off his fingertips and nearly picked off by Gallion.
Let me tell you something. These guys never had their fists balled up today. The only people in this stadium today with their fists balled up are the fans because they're cold. The Eagles came out here and they are playing like a team that just doesn't care. They're not playing like what Ray Rhodes talked to us about, a bunch of hungry guys going to fight for the NFC East.
And now on 3rd and 9, the ball at the Philadelphia 6. Hoying has to put it up again. That's nearly picked off by Hamilton. And the Giants are just overwhelming the Eagles here in the 2nd half.
You know, their hands are open up all right. And some of those guys out there for the Eagles have run up a white flag. They don't want any part of that Giants defense. Lackluster effort, scared to get hit across the middle. Guys not running proper routes, cutting things off because there's fear of the aggressiveness of that Giants defense.
Giants will end up with great field position again as Toomer waits deep on the Eagles side of midfield. Terrible punt as it bounces around the 25, and it will be down to the 26. Just a 19-yard punt from Tom Hutton.
I'm not sure if Hutton has hit a punt all day.
He hit one the time before this, and like a chain reaction after that punt, a lot of the fans get up and start to leave Veterans Stadium. But this is not all on Fox NFL Sunday. Coming up next, 2nd half of our doubleheader, another big game in the NFC East with Washington heading out to Arizona. Minnesota's at San Francisco. Check local listings. And for those of you in New York and Philadelphia, you're exempt from what I just said. See neither one of those 2 late games as Way Stays in bounds and got maybe a yard over the left side. We'll call it 2. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And now they're fighting out of frustration. Frustration for what they haven't done.
Danny Cannell, we came in talking about the 2 quarterbacks. Cannell has thrown 3 touchdown passes today. His highest total since taking over. And Cannell here this afternoon was making his 8th NFL start. They lost Tyrone Wheatley in this game. Barber and Way have done the job in the backfield, not this time, as Hollis Thomas comes through the middle and makes the stop. 3rd down coming up. And a timeout is called for the Eagles, trying to hang on and have some hope. 3rd and 11 when we come back for the Giants. Defensively, the Eagles have played most of this second half without Charles Dimry, out with a neck strain, and William Thomas out with that right knee problem, rolled up by his own teammate. Neither will return. As you look at Michael Strahan and talk about that Giants defense, rushing yards allowing only 70 for the Philadelphia Eagles here today.
And that's what happens in this league. You know, last week they got pounded by Tampa Bay. Allstott and Dunn just ran all over that front. And when you get challenged and you fail in this league, the next week you come back and you improve in that area.
3rd down and 11 as they toss to Barber. Cutting back into the middle of the field. Tiki Barber stays on his feet and gets a 1st down.
He tripped over Greg Bishop. His offensive guard was down there trying to help him out. But sometimes when you have a shifty back like Tiki Barber and in the 3rd level of the defense, you're best off just staying away from him. Bishop gets the block here, and then he turns downfield to try to help out, and Tiki gets caught right over his foot. Right there.
And a career high for Tiki Barber, and this is rookie year, 107, make it 108 rushing yards here this afternoon. Now a 1st down from the Philadelphia 11. Charles Way, he gets to the 9 and then is hammered and brought down at the 9-yard line by John Harris.
Ray Rhodes can't be happy with anything he's seen out there today. You know, this is the 2nd time actually he's seen his season disappear. He thought it was over when he gave Hoyen the start. And that's really my conclusion, because I don't see why else they would just go ahead and turn it over to him unless he thought it was done. And when you look at that Eagles team, you really have to think they don't have much anyhow. I mean, this is really a land of misfit guys, because they're all from somewhere, cast off or never been in the league.
On 2nd down, Charles Way cuts back to the middle of the field, gets down to the 5, where it'll be 3rd down.
You know what, I say they're all misfits, but all these guys, they've been cut. Red Hall's been cut 6 times. Hollis Thomas was out in the street. I mean, guys, this whole team is made up of guys that have been have-nots and never have-beens and castaways. Charles Dimry, and then you sprinkle in a few personalities and a Ricky Waters and a good player like Willie Thomas, and that's your team. But for the most part, it's just tough guys that couldn't fit in elsewhere, and Ray Rhodes has tried to take them and make something out of them.
Yeah, it's really a credit to Ray Rhodes, who is trying to get to the playoffs in his first 3 years as head coach here. He's had 2 10-6 seasons. That will not happen, and with a loss here today, it doesn't mathematically eliminate the Eagles, but now that tie really works against them, and they will be fighting an uphill battle the rest of the way and hoping for a lot of help from around the league.
Hoyen's little wave kind of died down on him a little bit here in his 4th game, but like we talked about before, it's hard to do anything in the quarterback position when you're faced with all that rush in front of you and your receivers aren't catching the ball.
3 minutes, 47 seconds left. Charles Way gets to the 1.5-yard line and will check the spot, I believe, short of a 1st down. And the Philadelphia Eagles spend a timeout. Their final timeout here in the 2nd half. This game is presented by the authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or the use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the National Football League is prohibited.
And you know, Joe, on the other side of it, though, and you look at the Giants, and you say you look at them, and Jim Fossil's done an outstanding job Ricky Waters trying to explain why he didn't catch that pass to someone. But Jim Fossil, it was there, and I put up one hand, and then it wasn't there, and heck, it's everybody else's fault too. But you know, the Giants really, you talk about what Jim Fossil has done with this team. I mean, you saw them play last year. The team didn't have anything, really doesn't have anything. They lost any kind of deep threat they had with Ike Hilliard. The running back position was up in the air. They didn't have anything but a fullback. The quarterback position, they've been struggling there. Weren't sure who they're going to go with, as up until today, actually. But they're well coached. They're well versed on what needs to be done in order for them to win.
20-yard try here for Dalwiso. Good snap, good hold, good kick, and Dalwiso's now made 36 straight from inside 40 yards. Officially a 19-yard field goal attempt and successful field goal try by Dalwiso. And it's now a 17-point lead for the Giants with 3 minutes 40 seconds left in this one. And we talk about tonight on Fox and on an all-new X-Files, a mysterious phone call and a bizarre murder all lead to one startling question. Has Agent Scully's sister returned from the dead? An all-new X-Files tonight at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Fox. You're feisty in this cold weather here in Philadelphia, Bill.
It's the cheesesteaks. They get you kind of feisty. You know, you put those hot peppers on it and the hot sauce, and you get feisty.
New York Giants came in, as we talked about at the top, having lost 7 of their last 9 here at Veterans Stadium. And they have come down here and overwhelmed the Eagles this afternoon.
I think maybe the Eagles bought into themselves a little too much with the offense and the comeback last week in Cincinnati, and they thought they had things rolling. They didn't realize the importance, and then they saw the Giants get pounded by Tampa Bay. They didn't realize the importance of taking it in the NFC East.
This hops over the head of Staley and through the back of the end zone, so the Eagles will start with it at their own 20. But without a timeout and only 3.5 minutes left in this one, as Cannell, he will sleep well tonight and will sleep well knowing that he did his job here this afternoon under heavy fire during the week. Statement made by Jim Fossil that if he is not productive at the start of the game and he's the reason why we're being held back, I'll get out the hook. That wasn't even a consideration today.
Well, you know what the thing about it is, in the last 4 weeks, the offense has averaged 10 points per game. And then they challenge the quarterback, and you come out today and you score 31 points. Now, you get a great effort by your defense, but the fact is, you still got 31 points.
Hoying to Turner out of the backfield. Almost looked like he was trying to lateral to Ricky Waters, but he could not get it to him. A gain of 8, 2nd down and 2. Waters was kind of trailing the play, but Turner could not get rid of it. This is batted in the air and nearly picked off by Gallion. And we've seen his name a few times today.
Well, the reason being is he comes in on nickel situations, and the Eagles have had 3 and 4 wide receivers out there because 3 wide receivers right now because they've been forced to pass because they've been behind, so they go to nickel, and Gallion gets a lot of playing time in a nickel package. Holsey gets the tip right there.
That defensive front for the Giants, they have played well here in this one in Philadelphia. Now on 3rd down and 2. Hoying completes it to Irving Fryer, and he is gone. Irving Fryer with his 2nd catch of the day into the end zone for the touchdown.
Giants defense feeling a little too froggy there. They figured they could go after all those interceptions. Everybody wants in on the action to try to get an interception. They go up after the ball. When Fryer comes down with it, he's behind the defense.
72 yards later, it's a touchdown, making it right now an 11-point game with the extra point coming up.
Can Bobby Hoying do it again? Watch this. Everybody wants you to go after the ball, and Fryer comes down with it, and when he comes down with it, there's nobody in front of him.
Now Bonio will attempt the extra point to make it a 10-point game, and then we'll have the onside kick. Irving Fryer, his 6th touchdown of the season. And it's a 10-point game. For Fryer, Now 729 career receptions. And for the Eagles, their longest pass completion of the season makes it a 10-point game. Don't forget, coming up, the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, when the Washington Redskins, still alive, travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals or Minnesota out at 3-Count Park to deal with the 49ers.
Well, Washington tries to stay alive in this race as well. They're still in the mix of this thing. And then Randall Cunningham comes back to life for the Vikings.
Remember, that game is for most, can't say all, because those in Philadelphia, those in New York will not get the second half of the doubleheader. For Irving Fryer, his 75th career touchdown catch. But an awful lot of drops around Bobby Hoying here this afternoon.
And that's actually, they haven't had the time to get the ball to Irving Fryer today.
So now the onside kick attempt. And you look at the NFL success ratio, 21%. 10 for 47. 2:59 remaining. And remember, the Eagles have no timeouts left. The hands team, as they call it, out there on the field for the Giants. Both Hutton and Boniol are there. One of the two will kick this one away. The left-footed Hutton in and out of the hands of Way, and he ends up falling on top of it. Giants take control. They're inside Philadelphia territory. Eagles, no timeouts remaining. And the Giants will now work on that clock.
Well, he came the opposite direction. They had everybody stacked up top as if they were going to go over to the Giants sidelines and kick that thing. And he kicked it back to where there was fewer people.
Seen a lot of teams trying that this season. Special teams coaches trying for a change-up.
Trying anything. When the success rate is 21%, you have to try to create a wrinkle.
So now a first down, and the Giants will keep the ball on the ground and let that clock wind down. This is Charles Way. Inside the 40, where he's thrown backward. He got a couple.
Clock will run.
Take a look at the NFC's Eastern Division. The Giants out in front with a record of 7-5-1. It will be 8-5-1. At the end of the day, it looks like Philadelphia slipping to below 500. Washington and their game at Arizona coming up later today. Second half of our doubleheader, and Dallas playing, hosting Carolina on Monday night.
And reality is, if the Giants walk away here with a win, which it looks like, is that they're only going to need one out of the last two to wrap up this division.
The Giants working on a 200-yard day on the ground here in Philadelphia. And Way stays on his feet, and now the Giants are over 200 yards rushing against this Philadelphia defense.
You know, and I think when you're out there and you're an Eagles defensive player, you've got to find a way to have something to hang your hat on in this season. Stop Charles Way.
Only 2 minutes left. It will be an enjoyable bus trip back for the Giants to New York after this action here in Philadelphia. Don't forget, coming up next, our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader continues. Most of you will see a crucial NFC Eastern Division matchup. The Redskins look to rebound against the Arizona Cardinals. The Vikings take on the 49ers with Randall Cunningham at the controls for the Minnesota Vikings. Coming up, second half of our doubleheader. Check local listings, and you will see one of those two games unless you are in Philadelphia or New York. Third down and 3, and a toss to Tiki Barber. Great blocking out in front. Barber smart enough to stay in bounds. That's a heads-up play. He has a first down, and that should just about do it.
And Barber's been exciting today, right from the get-go. As soon as Wheatley went out, he's come in, he's made plays, he's run the ball nicely, he's caught the ball out of the backfield. 115 yards rushing today, Tiki Barber.
Way has 76. Wheatley has 20.
203 yards rushing for the New York Giants, and that's a big compliment, like we got too early, to the offensive line of the Giants.
Minute 20 and counting, and now the Giants in the take-a-knee mode, and this one will belong to New York. They will move to 8-5-1. The Eagles will slip to 6-7-1. The focus now falls on the Giants and what they will do the final 2 weekends of the season. They came in talking about we need 2 of the last 3. Now they'll be talking about 1 of the last 2.
Well, they get Washington, and then it's at Dallas. So it's going to be a round-robin type tournament here for the NFC East to see who walks away with it.
And with Cannell taking a knee, that will be the final snap of the afternoon here in Philadelphia. Today's game produced by Michael Burks and directed by Andy Kendall. Associate director is Rich Dewey. The broadcast associate Michael Fitzgerald. The studio produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown, and the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. So that'll do it for this one from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. The Giants stay alive and stay atop the division. Now a record of 8-5-1, while the Eagles slip to 6-7-1. And as the clock expires, we give you our Energizer play of the game. And